Hello guys and girls listening to this is Rija, and we are gonna check some posts from our entitled parents because, let's be honest, I make other videos and it seems like YouTube just doesn't care, like YouTube only cares about our entitled parents videos right now. So as they say, if life gives you lemons, you make our entitled parents videos, right? But before we start, please subscribe, like, comment, blah blah blah, all the usual stuff. But anyway, let's start. Why my aunt isn't allowed at my house anymore. That's the name of the story, let's check it out. Okay, so this story takes place during Thanksgiving at my house. A is aunt, me is me, B is brother, C1 is cousin 1, he's chill, C2 and C3 are entitled brats. By the way, my brother has a daughter that comes over every weekend, so his room is kind of designed like a child's room, but it still has dangerous items such as knives and lighters. So it was Thanksgiving Day and my family decided to do it at my house this year. We invited everyone, including 3 cousins and 2 aunts. We had just finished eating dinner, which was delicious, and decided to go upstairs with C1. Whenever he comes over, we usually watch some movies, talk, and prank call some places. It's about 2 hours later when I hear B come upstairs. Keep in mind that we had weird locks and only one key that we had lost already. This means that nobody locked their doors. Anyways, he starts to go into his room and all C1 and I hear is, "What the f?" We casually go over to him and ask him what's wrong. He shows me his room and it is completely trashed. There was scattered all over the floor, bed messed up, clothes everywhere, and a PlayStation just sitting there in pieces. We all go downstairs to see who was in his room. Nobody fessed up until I remembered that C2 and C3 followed us upstairs. I told him this and he asked if that was true. Eventually they confessed and told him that they did go into the room. My brother, while still somehow remaining calm, showed my aunt what they did. Look at what they did! So, it's just a game console, they're kids, they were 11 and 12. That doesn't matter, they went into my room and completely vandalized it. Well, someone as old as you doesn't need a console. Also, all you have to do is just clean it up. I hope you know that you are paying for the damages. Enter shocked Pikachu face. Why would I have to pay for what my kids did? Because we weren't supervising them and they absolutely destroyed my room? My aunt left after giving my brother $5 in order to cover the costs. My parents were pretty mad after my brother showed them what the kids did and explaining the situation. We tried calling her, but she never answered. Why do these people always think like the consoles are for kids? I mean, even if they were for kids, like they are expensive, so... I almost got my Switch stolen. Let's check this story. Please forgive me, I'm on mobile, but I had to tell this story. I am so pissed. Not fake. I live in a part of Atlanta, so I usually go to the McDonald's on the better side of town. It happened to be during Super Bowl weekend, so it was packed. After waiting for an hour, I got my Big Mac and take out the Switch to play Super Smash Bros. As I'm eating and playing, I notice a little boy and girl looking. I ignore it. After a while, the mom comes up to me and this is how the combo goes. Hey, is that a Nintendo Switch? Yes, it is. Give it to my kid. He's been doing good in school. I'm a single parent. No, he deserves it more than you. As soon as she says this, she grabs for my Switch and starts running, but no other than JC Onfroy was at the door waiting for her. Oh, okay. I don't know who JC Onfro, whoever that is, but I mean, at this point, it's pretty obvious it's a fake story. But yeah, this is satire because a lot of the posts in our entitled parents are probably fake or fiction or something. But they basically follow the same structure. And the structure of these stories is that there is one person with something. And there is most likely a kid that wants that thing or that pet or whatever. And then comes the parent and tells the other person to let his or her kid have it, because they have been doing so good in school or something. But just in case it hasn't been clear enough, this post was satire. I just wanted to do something a little bit different. But yeah, I really like this post. This subreddit jumping from real stories to fake stories to memes about fake stories in less than a week.
Parkour!
Guys and girls listening, how many of these stories do you think are actually true? because a lot of them, like, they sound fake, or I don't know, maybe not fake but over exaggerated or something, I don't know. This happened when I was about 7 or 8. My family was very fortunate to a large backyard with a pool. We live in a very urban city and it was rare to have that much space. But our home was passed down for decades and a hidden gem. It was nothing crazy, a large 5-foot deep above ground pool someone was selling on Craigslist. My parents were on a severe budget. We lived paycheck to paycheck. And they thought by having a pool we, my younger brother, sister and I, would be entertained most of the summer without having to go out and spend money. One summer day we were all playing outside in the yard, not in the pool, when two young boys we have never met, they were African American, not that it matters in general but it pertains to the story, start walking up our driveway. Our driveway is fairly long, about 40 feet, and nestled in between my house and our neighbor's house, so very little of my backyard is visible from the street, and the pool wasn't at all. We say hi and notice these kids about my age are in swim trunks and have towels over their shoulders. They are very sweet, from what I can remember, and say hi back, and ask if they can swim in our pool. As children we have no idea what to think or say, so one of my siblings runs to get our mother inside. She comes out and says, "I'm sorry boys, but this isn't a public pool. There is a public pool just one street over. It's very clean and only costs $1 to use." Prior to us having a pool, we used the public pool, so we were very familiar with it. The boys say okay and leave. 10 minutes later we see them walking up our driveway again, and this time they have their father with them. You will probably see where this is going. Father asks us, "Can my son use your pool?" To which we reply, "No, our mom said that's not okay." He says, "Get your mom." So one of my siblings run in again and get my mom. This time she comes out and you can tell she's irritated. The man repeats his question and my mom repeats her previous answer. The guy gets all huffy. "I don't understand why my children can't use the pool. Your kids aren't using it right now. It's a hot summer day and we are neighbors." It's not very neighborly to say no. My mom, mouth hanging open from gall of this guy, quickly recovers and says, "Just because my kids aren't currently using our pool doesn't mean it's open to the public. I bought it, it's on my property, I paid electricity, water and chemicals for it. And as for not being neighborly, I don't even know who you are. I have never met you, you have never introduced yourself to us, and frankly, I don't think it's very neighborly to use me and my children for our pool, when you have never given us the time of day before." Some more back and forth went on. My sibling went to get my dad. When he comes out, massive, 350 to 375 pounds, and report to his man. The guy just sneers at my mom and says, "Well, it's good to know who the racists in this town are." Turns and walks away with his voice trailing and complaining,
But you promised.
We never saw them again, and I have never seen my mom so insulted, and it was my first memory of an entitled parent. When the story began and this guy mentioned that they were African American, it crossed my mind immediately that that was going to be the excuse for the entitled parent, that he or she was gonna say that it was all because of racism. But yeah, obviously that's not the case. These people, they are, even if they are your neighbors, like, they are under no obligation to share their property or anything. You are not entitled to their property. That's it. That's the end of the story. After finishing reading this story, I had an idea. What if there is a subreddit for bad neighbors? And to my surprise, well, not really, I'm not surprised, it exists. So what do you think, guys and girls listening to this? Should I make an r/bad neighbors video? I mean, it's probably not gonna be super popular. We all know that YouTube doesn't like videos that are not our entitled parents. But yeah, I'm probably gonna make it in the super near future. Oh, and also before we go, I would like to know, guys and girls listening, have you ever had a bad neighbor? Also, I'm interested in knowing, like, for example, here in Mexico, we usually say hi in the mornings to neighbors. Like, we don't go to their houses, but if we see them, like, we say hi or something, we greet them. How is it in your country? Like, is it like here in Mexico that you greet your neighbor, or you mostly don't talk to them at all, or what? I want to know. Girls and guys, I would love to hear your comments about this subreddit community. Also comment on what subreddit I should do next. As always, a like, comment and share is greatly appreciated. And please subscribe if you like the content. Bye!